Well, good morning, everybody. This is Linda from North Central Texas. And I was out in the yard so much yesterday breathing all that dust and moving wood chips till my allergies have got my voice really rough this morning. So y'all have to bear with me. My eyes are all, I don't know what you call it. It's got all that junk in it that you get in your eyes when your allergies are real bad. But that's the way mine are right now. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to fix a good old-fashioned mountain breakfast. And this is the mountains of North Carolina. I don't live there anymore, but that's where my ex-husband was from. And I remember the first weekend we went and spent with his parents. The breakfast that woman fixed was unreal. That woman fixed us sausage and milk gravy, rice, liver mush, which you cannot buy here in Texas. They don't even know what it is. And real thin strips of ham. And when I sat down to eat, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is like eating a big dinner. I mean, I've never seen this much food served for breakfast before. Well, I can't fix the liver pudding or the liver mush because, like I said, they do not have it here in Texas. They do not even know what liver mush or liver pudding is in Texas. So, and I don't have the ham, but I am going to fix the sausage and milk gravy and the rice. And that's what my breakfast is going to be, and probably my breakfast for a week. So, first of all, we're going to start out with fixing a pot of rice. We all know how to fix a pot of rice, I'm sure. I'm going to cook a cup of rice to 2 cups of water. I mean, that's what I meant by, people can fix the same dish in many different states or countries, but they all come up with their own way of making it. And I'd never heard of eating rice and milk gravy and stuff like that for my breakfast before. To me, that was dinner. So we'll get that rice going. And then I've got some of this sausage that I had from the other day. I'm going to go ahead and fix the rest of it, I think. Yeah, but I remember thinking when we sat down to eat all the food that she put on the table, my God. I said, I guess that's what you call a good old mountain breakfast. Because there was everything on that table. But that just goes to show you that's only a little under 400 miles from where my parents lived and where I grew up. But they ate totally different. I mean, it was a lot different in the mountains compared to where I grew up. It was a lot different from when I lived in New York too as a child. Because, as my mom was from New York, we spent part of my childhood growing up in New York, and they ate even different. I mean, there it was boiled eggs for breakfast, minute eggs, that type of thing. Toast. They didn't have grits or eggs grits or rice for breakfast. So it was a lot different. I had to have my coffee this morning. But that shows you, you know, I started gaining weight when my husband and I got together and got married. Because that's the way he wanted me to cook for him. Rice, sausage with milk gravy, liver mush, ham, all that stuff was for breakfast. And mind you, you got your eggs too, your scrambled eggs or your fried eggs. They didn't leave that out. And your biscuits or your toast. Usually it was biscuits. Just like, you know, Cajun people eat different than I do. I mean, that's Creole cooking in New Orleans and Louisiana. Yeah, I decided I'd do a cooking show or video this morning because my allergies are killing me from yesterday working in the yard so long. Plus, I'm hurting. I mean, I think every bone in my body aches. Which the exercise is good, but I have to watch what I do with my back and neck injury that I do have. And my wrist is still hurting. I mean, I can use my arm and my hand, but there's certain ways I can turn my hand or my wrist, and I'm ready to scream. It hurts so bad, it just shoots a pain up my arm that's killing me. Yeah, my garden needs some rain. It would love just a little bit of rain right now. Yeah, I did this video at the last minute. I didn't intend to do a video for breakfast, but I decided, well, hey, I need to go ahead and get up, get me a video going on how to fix this mountain style milk gravy, sausage, and rice. Because I don't think I'm going to be doing a video in the yard today. I'm going to take the day off from working in the yard. Because I did a lot yesterday. And you know, it's funny how as you grow up as a child, how things stick with you. Since we had such a large family, and when my dad got out of the Navy, he worked as basically a carpenter, home builder, and money was tight back then. It was a lot, you know, 8 mouths to feed at the table every meal. So, my mom, she learned how to cook and make food stretch. And I did the same thing after I left home. But it's just interesting to see how the different areas, the different states, different countries just cook a little differently. What is normal to them is just unreal to me sometimes. And I can't remember the name of the ham that they always fixed. It's like a prosciutto. It's sliced real thin. And it's a little differently than just a regular ham. And I don't know if that was the correct name for it. But they would fry that in a frying pan, and they'd make what they call a red-eye gravy with it. Which was pretty good, but it's not something that I grew up on, so. Turn that down. But this is just like fixing biscuits and gravy. Without the liver mush. I remember the first couple of times I bought groceries in Texas after we moved here. I went around to a lot of stores looking for liver mush or liver pudding. They looked at me like I was crazy. Like, woman, what in the world are you talking about? We don't have nothing like that here. Well, see, I wasn't thinking this is beef country. Texas is all about the beef. Not many people raise hogs in Texas. In North Carolina, it's all about the pork, because everybody raises hogs. So it's just totally opposite here. So here you could get any cut of beef you wanted, but they didn't know what you were talking about when you said you wanted liver pudding or liver mush. And my ex was from the mountains of North Carolina, around Charlotte, Black Mountain, Cherokee Mountain, that area, which is beautiful country. But you just never stop to think about how different just their dishes that they serve for meals is different than what we might be used to. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much in my videos. And I kind of worried about it. Because I've seen a lot of these videos that have absolutely no talking. You just watch the people do whatever they're doing. And then one day I was checking my comments, and I came across a comment from one of my subscribers. "Oh, I just love your videos," she said, "because you talk in your videos. I love to listen to you. Your voice is soothing," and all that kind of stuff. So that made me feel a little bit better. Yeah, none of my stuff is rehearsed. It's not staged. Definitely not staged. And I got a little bit of flour. I'm just going to sprinkle it in over my sausage. Depending on how much sausage you put in there, I usually use about 2 or 3 spoonfuls of flour. And I'm just going to let it soak up some of that grease first, and then I'll stir it around. For those of you who have not seen my video where I made milk gravy and sausage and biscuits, And I'm going to use canned milk, because that's what I keep on hand. I don't keep a lot of fresh milk because I have allergies to milk, so I don't drink a whole lot of milk. And I'm going to, since it's evaporated milk, I mix it with about half water, half milk. And I kind of do that too in some other dishes that I have to use milk in. I'll usually put half milk, half water. Because you know, evaporated milk is pretty rich. It just depends on what I'm putting it in. Might need to fix a little bit more. And yeah, I wipe the top of my cans because I don't like to put the canned milk in the refrigerator with milk on the top because it gets dry and all cruddy and it looks gross. And I don't like that. Two cups should be enough by the time it thickens up. I'm just all congested this morning because of being out in the yard yesterday so much. My eyes were all matted together this morning. And they're still full of stuff, and I put eye drops. I use antibiotic eye drops for my eyes for my allergies. Liver mush, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is a liver sausage that's made with pork livers. And I know some of you've probably seen the little square cubes of butter that you can buy. I guess it's like a pound or half a pound of butter in a block like. Well, that's how the liver mush comes. It comes in a block. You slice it off. Not too thick. Well, it's up to you how thick you go with it, but you slice it off and you put those slices in your pan and you fry it. Or either you can get liver pudding, which comes in a link, like you would a long link of sausage. It comes in the casing, and most of the time people cut it to about 3 or 4 inches long and throw that in the pan and fry it. And then you've got a link of liver pudding sausage to eat. And I haven't had any of that since I've lived in Texas, which has been many, many years. Because like I said, they do not have it here. My ex-husband, his parents, his mom worked at the school, and his dad was the principal of the school in Vale, North Carolina. Or not Vale, they lived in Vale, but there was another little town close to there where the school was, and I don't know if the school was considered in Vale or the other town. But the community was so small, he was actually principal of 2 different schools. So he would go back and forth to each school during the day. He came from a family of 2 brothers and 1 sister. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And wait till the rice gets done. And it's not going to be long on the rice. In fact, I can turn it off right now. But just think about what you grew up eating for breakfast. Was it cereal, eggs and grits? Biscuits and gravy, biscuits and, not biscuits and rice, but milk, gravy, sausage, and rice. Just think about it. What kind of things do you eat in your area compared to what people eat in your surrounding areas? Just the neighboring state, even. I mean, you'll be surprised. I'm letting that rice have a chance to kind of absorb a little bit of that liquid. I don't want to take it out of there with it being too watery. If that makes sense. I cheated yesterday. I was so tired by the time I got through in the yard and and took a shower and shampooed my hair and stuff. So I got dressed and I drove out to was it Whataburger or Dairy Queen? Not Dairy King or somewhere, and got a chicken sandwich, fries, and a Coke. I just did not feel like cooking after working in the yard all day. So, and I got almost every bit of that wood chips moved. I've still got 3 or 4 wheelbarrows of wood chips to move, and then I'm done with the wood chips until I get another load of them, and I don't know when I'll order any more. There, that's done. Now to serve up your breakfast. I'm going to use the same spoon. That's just like eating biscuits and gravy, only you're putting it on your rice. Imagine that with links of sausage, liver pudding, ham, eggs. This was just one of the dishes they served you for breakfast. I mean, just this is more than I even need. Let's get the camera moved. Get it set up so I don't dump it in the floor. Show you my messy table. I tell you, when you spend all your time out working in the yard, I have all I can do to keep my house halfway straight most of the time. But that's breakfast, y'all. Dear Lord, thank us for our food. Amen. Y'all take a bite. Don't that look good? Steaming hot. Sausage milk gravy on rice. That's a good old-fashioned mountain-style breakfast right there. Only this is part of it. If you lived in the mountains of North Carolina, you're going to eat ham. You're going to eat the liver mush or liver pudding, your eggs, your milk gravy with sausage on rice. That's all one breakfast. This is all I fixed this morning because I don't have the liver mush or the ham, so. There you go. You take the first bite. That looks good. It's steaming hot. But this is my breakfast this morning. Need salt and pepper. Just a little bit. I'll be sneezing with this pepper I just put on there. But you talk about a breakfast that's going to stick to your ribs, this one will do it. And I guess that's why they ate this way. They ate whatever they had. Plus they ate a hearty breakfast because they got out and worked really hard physical labor every day up in the mountains. So it's really good. If you like biscuits and gravy, you'll love milk gravy sausage on rice. It's so good, but it's hot. And I already gave little buddy his breakfast this morning. I'm going to let that cool. And I'm going to take this out and go show you how far I got with the wood chips yesterday. Maybe little buddy's still out here. I don't know. Usually he eats his breakfast and he either gets up in that swing and goes to sleep or takes off and roams the neighborhood after he gets his belly full. And it feels like it wants to rain this morning, but I bet it don't. And all of my plants would just love some rain. How pretty is that this morning? Clematis. And then my roses back there. Makes you want to take your coffee, bring your coffee out in the yard and just sit out in the yard and drink your coffee while you're eating breakfast. But there it is, y'all. That's how much more I got done after I ended my video yesterday. But I've got enough out there. Barely see the pile out there. I've got enough that I can cover this grass with it, I think. But I really need to get me some cardboard or something to put down on that grass first. And I don't know where I'm going to get it from. This is not a very long video, but it's one that I really wanted to make this morning. I mean, aren't those roses something pretty to get up to in the morning and just walk around drinking your cup of coffee? To me, it's amazing that you can propagate roses from a little twig and it turn into a nice plant full of flowers. And look at that one. That's beautiful. All of my roses were that big at one time, years ago. And then we got an extreme drought, water rationing and everything else, and I lost my rose bushes. But I replanted, and you see them now. They're as beautiful as ever, even more so. Yeah, that is beautiful right there. Those clematis. Some of them are called Jacqueline or something like that, clematis. I've had 3 or 4 different ones, and I had stakes in the pots with the names of each one on them. But over the years, as I've added dirt, the stakes got covered up and disappeared, and I don't remember what the name of them was. But yeah, I got to get out here. And if I do any of it at all, it's going to be late this evening when it, you know, it's cool this morning, but I don't feel like messing with it this morning. If I do any more, it'll be later this evening, before the sun goes down, when it cools off, because I know it's going to be another hot day. But that's my garden, y'all. Part of it. My Easter garden back there at the back. And like I said, I couldn't get hold of those black buckets, so I found the yellow Easter buckets on sale. So I got 8 of those and put them in front of my pink totes. And I think that works better for my Easter and spring garden because of the yellow. That's a really nice color. But you can see my stuff growing in those bags, my grow bags as I call them. They like being in the bags because it holds all the moisture in. And then it's got the holes in the very bottom so their roots can go right on down in the ground. So we'll see how all this works out this year, if we don't get any extreme weather. I want to check on my other little rose bush too. I need to get some more water to some of this stuff. These that I put out in the front are looking real good. And those 3 over here, they're not quite as big, but they're, you know, like I said, they're putting out new leaves. So they'll be all right as long as they keep getting water. And I keep watching this one over here to see if it's going to put out any new leaves. Well, can find it on camera. See there? It looks like it might be trying to put out some new leaves. So it'll probably survive. Looks like new leaves right there. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it survives. And there's all those wildflowers. They're going to be blooming pretty soon. They would have been pretty if I'd have just left them all over the yard and let them bloom all over the yard, but the yard looked too bad. I did leave a few scattered, but but see, I put wood chips back there again because it needed it. That helps keep the grass out and helps keep the soil damp so the buckets don't get as heated up. And I could probably take my netting off of that one cabbage. This one doesn't have it. I had one on it, but it kept blowing off. So I could probably take that off of this one too. I'm not going to do it right now though. So on that note, I'm going to let you look at my beautiful rose bush. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning and having breakfast with me. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you on my next video. Bye now.